Hey, how's it going, guys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video I want to go over how to counter wild scents and things that you can actually use to get around wild scents, because I know we're all playing ranked and wild scents is just one of the most annoying skills to go against because a lot of people tend to spam it and then go into super. So I kind of want to give you guys some options to get out of it. And the first option I want to go over is universal. For every single character can do this, and if you didn't know, you can actually vanish a wild scent. And what I mean is that you can press circle or your block button right when the wild sense attack is about to hit you, and you are actually going to be able to vanish it. And I just want to show you guys that right now. I have it in split screen because I feel like this is the easiest way to record this video and to show you guys what I'm talking about. I know it's a little jarring, but please bear with me. But you are actually able to vanish the wild sense just like that, and it's going to put you directly behind your opponent and easily open up your opponent. So the first thing that you should try to learn is to vanish wild scents, as it doesn't cost any, you don't have to use a skill or anything, and it just makes it so much easier to get around wild scents if you learn how to do it. When I'm online, I usually try to time it that right when they vanish for the wild scents, I try to put or input my vanish, because there is a little latency online. So just figure out your timing online. I know you can't really like practice it because there's latency, but the first step that you can do is to actually banish your opponent's wild scents. So from here on out, from this point forward in the video, I'm going to show you the skills that counter wild scents. I don't think there's any other way that you can do it without skills other than vanishing it, so I would practice vanishing it, but I want to give you guys a couple of skills that you can use to actually go ahead and get around wild scents. And the first skill that I want to show is, these skills are all going to be pretty obvious, but it is going to be Afterimage Strike. This is going to easily allow you to go ahead and get around your opponent's wild scents, and you're going to be able to do it as many times as you want in a 15-second span. So it is a really good tool to go ahead and use against people who are actually spamming wild scents against you. So picking up a character that has Afterimage Strike if you're annoyed with the wild scents is a good call. So the next skill that I want to talk about is Afterimage. It's not as good as Afterimage Strike, but it does cost a skill bar less. But it does have a kind of big flaw in the fact of, if you get hit first before you hit them to activate their wild sense, you're not going to be able to use Afterimage obviously to dodge it, because it's going to use up your Afterimage. So you want to make sure that you are activating your Afterimage knowing that you're going to hit them first, so that you can go ahead and get the dodge, so that you make sure you don't just waste your bar, because you could activate Afterimage and then they go ahead and activate their wild sense, and then if they hit you first and then you hit them, you're gonna get punished. So you do want to make sure that you are actually hitting them first after activating Afterimage. So the next skill that I want to show you guys that gets around wild sense is actually instant transmission. This is going to make your opponent lose locking on you, which is going to make their wild sense go ahead and miss you, and then you can just go ahead and continue to combo off of it. So I'll show you guys what that looks like now. We're going to do instant transition, and you saw their wild sense activate, but since they weren't locked onto me, I was able to just continue hitting them, allowing me to just basically counterplay their wild sense. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that again. If you missed it, go ahead, activate instant transmission, and as you see, their wild sense just completely misses me because they aren't locked on anymore. So instant transmission is also a very good way to get around wild sense. And then the last way that I want to show you guys is that you can actually just fight fire with fire, and you can also use your own wild sense to counter wild sense, which is just really obvious, but I just wanted to put it in here as a option that you can do. But just like with Afterimage, you want to make sure that you are definitely landing the first blow on your opponent, because if not, then just like with Afterimage, you're gonna go ahead and if they hit you first, their wild sense is going to definitely hit yours second. So you want to make sure that you actually are the person hitting them first. It's pretty obvious, but I thought I'd just put it in here. You can just wild sense or wild sense, but out of all the options that I've given you guys, I would definitely learn how to vanish their wild sense, because it is just definitely the strongest way to go ahead and get around wild sense and give you just a more bigger advantage. Also, I just want to point out that you can do Ki Blast. Like, wild sense doesn't work on Ki Blast. As you can see, I'm shooting his guard and it's not activating at all, but then once I hit him it does activate. So I would only recommend just spamming Ki Blast on them when they are at low HP and you don't want to risk the chance of their Wild Sense hitting you and you losing the match. But I just wanted to give you guys some examples on what you can do to get around Wild Sense if you are or if it's really annoying you guys in ranked. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Peace out.